Elf-Centered is made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons. To support this show and hear new episodes before anyone else, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media for more information. And thank you for your support.
I'm interested in this the calendar that Beatrice got selected for. Photo shoot.
I know.
Calendar.
What? Can you tell us more about what this calendar is? Is it like Elves of the North Pole? What is?
Yeah, it's Elves of the North Pole. I am going to be Miss March.
Oh.
Perfect.
And so there's a photo shoot scheduled, and apparently I'm just supposed to go about my day. They're really interested in my process of making scotcheroos.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'll have to,
Maybe there'll be like a photo shoot of you in your kitchen making scotcheroos, and there's like a flower just to touch on your nose, and you're all decked out in fancy clothes, and yeah.
I don't want to put a conspiracy theory spin on this.
I do.
But you guard the scotcheroo recipe pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, trust me, I have already been thinking of ways to make the scotcheroos without revealing the recipe.
Because I'm wondering, like, maybe that's what this is. Maybe this calendar is... I don't know. Maybe it's somebody, like a bakery or something, is trying to get your recipe.
The theme of the calendar is actually women elves of the North Pole.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I wasn't going to specify, but it is certainly the females.
It's a female-oriented calendar for everybody. Mrs. Claus is obviously Mrs. December.
Right.
Hortense, I don't know what month she is, and I'm sure that we are not going to be looking too closely at her pictures for any recipes.
Right.
Yeah.
Zeta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I might have to skip the whatever month she is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go through that.
I'm going to check it out.
My heart will. Welcome to Elf-Centered, everybody. My name is Gavin.
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Gary.
And it is the end of January already. It seems like just a month ago we were celebrating the end of the year, which we were, but it just seems like it just goes so fast.
Yeah, already. End of
crazy.
January. Can't believe there's only 11 more months till our next.
Don't mention it. Don't mention it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got back from vacation, as I'm sure most of the North Pole did.
Yes, where did you go? Tell us all about it, Gavin.
I went to, there's this place in Montana, which is near where you went to your dude ranch a couple years ago.
I loved it.
Yeah, but there is a place called the Singing Caverns. And there are these beautiful caves, and you go in and they're just, like, you can't believe that you're underground, yet something is so enormous, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you think, like, oh, I'm going down to the ground, things will get small because it's underground. But these caverns were so beautiful, and on a windy day, the wind whips through the caverns, and they sing. And it's not like, it's not
an R&B hit.
No, it's not a hit song. It's more like, it reminds me a lot of like the Whales. Whale song and stuff like that. And what's interesting is when you think about like whale sounds, these singing caverns, they're both sounds from nature. They're both very similar. And I don't know. For me, it made me really think about the world and about nature. And I've made my resolution for this year is to be more in tune with nature.
Oh.
So.
It
was a great trip.
Yeah. It reminds me, once when I was a kid, we went on holiday to a place up in Northern California, up near Yosemite.
Yeah.
And they have the Moaning Caverns.
Oh.
And apparently the lore around there is that it's actually not caused by the wind, it's caused by a water dropping from, because again, very, 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 very deep caverns. The water drops and hits this rock, and when it reverberates, it creates this moaning sound. And the lore was that people were terrified to go near the opening because they thought it was haunted, because it would moan.
Ooh.
Moaning Caverns.
I have to go check that out. Maybe next year that'll be my
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
That sounds
Or maybe you
amazing.
can make it take a weekend. Because we get some small holidays, you can maybe take a weekend
True.
to hit that up.
Yeah, I think, especially after the disaster of last year and all that toxic filth, which we're still dealing with, it really makes me mad, and it makes me. I think we have to do more. I'm all for progress. I'm not. I'm actually not even a big camper. I don't like camping. Give me a hotel room as opposed to a tent any day of the week. But I do love going out in nature. I love seeing things, and it's really making me, this toxic. I'm upset that I even supported the mayor at any point.
Hashtag thanks, Mayor Thompson.
Yeah,
I did see that coming a mile away.
You did.
I wish. I'm sorry if I ever did not believe you, Beatrice.
Well, we were
It's all
suckered
right.
in by diamonds.
Yep, diamonds and his magic tricks.
Diamonds will do it.
And
He's-
cigarettes.
Cigarettes and booze.
I'm not a fan of the man, but he could juggle.
He could juggle. I'll
He can
give
juggle.
him that. Even I will give
Didn't
him
that
that.
magic trick? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, but enough said about him. He's in the past, and I am looking forward to helping the environment and everything in the future. But Gary, where did you go on your trip?
Well, I went the exact opposite of what you're doing. I went. I made a tour of all of the inner cities across the United States.
Wow,
my goodness.
all of them
That's
All of the inner cities.
in a
that's
month.
lot.
All of them. I had it was a one day. Some days we had to hit two urban elements. We were me and the Penguins. It's a penguin.
Yeah.
Penguins wanted to do it because they're focused on having some kind of rock career, and they want to get in touch with some real life the real life out in the city.
Rock? You mean rock music?
Rock music. They want to be dirty, grungy, and see what it's like, on some of the in some of the harder situations, because like they have lived a life of ease up in nature. It's easy for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what do they have to sing about?
Well, exactly. That's why they want to get in touch. So we went to Detroit, and we went. The other thing is we went into all these inner cities. Some of these they have decrepit buildings and they're closed, and we went like spelunking into the buildings.
Oh, wow.
And so and then we met these other dudes, and they're like skateboard dudes, and they were going in there, and like to make ends meet, they would go and they'd steal the copper piping and wire, and they'd go scrap hunting. And then there's these other dudes, and like we were on an episode of Vice because we were there while the dudes were scrapping, and also like there's these guys that go on and they have their these YouTube channels where they go in, discover, and look at all these old decrepit buildings. Go all over the world, all these places, places in China and Japan and Korea, and
Like old amusement parks.
Old
and-
amusement
yeah.
parks.
You know what? There's a
Buildings.
lot of. There's some great documentaries about abandoned malls.
right,
There's a guy named Dan Bell.
right, yeah.
Yeah, he goes through and it's just him recording these abandoned malls, and it is spooky,
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. So then that's what we did. We went and we brought a tent and we tended it up on the street.
Wow, you really. That's a
Yep.
different kind of nature. That's the old concrete jungle.
Yeah, we were in the concrete jungle and we
Yeah.
busked.
Busked.
Yeah, we did.
Like, were you
There was
singing or a little?
We did a little singing, and there was a lot of tap dancing.
Oh.
And because and like so we did some Fred Astaire numbers because penguins are naturally in their tuxedos. So we did some tap dance routines and stuff, and made enough to, eat and travel.
Wow.
So, but it was amazing.
Well, and your penguins are quite talented, so I can certainly see,
Fascinating.
And, welcome back.
Thanks. It was thanks. I got a couple of tattoos too. So did the penguins.
Oh, let me see that.
Oh, here.
Whoa.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
That looks just like all your penguins. It's like all their heads.
Yep. Yeah.
They look tough. They look mean. It's not just because your penguins are nice and friendly, but these look mean.
Oh,
These
they got some toughness in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were wearing bandanas.
But who's the cat on the end?
Oh. Nobody.
Nobody. Is that the cat's name? Nobody?
No.
Oh.
It's.
Is that your wife who you got married to last?
It might be.
Oh. When you were in your caffeine haze?
Yeah, but like that didn't go. We didn't go. It didn't go through.
Oh, it didn't go through. You just got a tattoo.
No.
Yeah. I was gonna say because we were all supposed to go to Vegas, and I never got
the invite.
No, we got the invite, but then it just.
Oh, good, you did get him.
Yeah, but it was so scribbled, like it was hard to read. So I didn't know if I missed it or.
Oh yeah, the details were probably you couldn't read them.
Yeah, because you were hopped up.
I was hopped up.
Yeah.
I was. Yep.
Well, Beatrice, where did you spend your January?
I actually I did sort of a humanitarian philanthropic vacation, and I went and volunteered. There are these vacations where you're on vacation, but you're also working. You're doing some kind of a
like a Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, and it was like Habitat for Humanity, but it's actually an elf sponsored. Actually, Mrs. Claus spearheaded this program.
She does everything.
She does. She has her hand in a lot of pots, and it's the elf version of Habitat for Humanity, and it's going to places where elves, gnomes, other
leprechauns, fairies,
who are in need of proper shelter. So we go and whatever is, like for elves, we live in mushroom huts.
Right,
and for gnomes and leprechauns, they all have different housing requirements.
Right. Tree trunks.
Based on their culture. Yeah. So yeah, I went and did that.
That sounds exhausting but rewarding.
It was exhausting and rewarding, and I have some great photographs. I'm going to be doing. You should do a photographic display as well, but.
Well, maybe we could do like a joint showing.
We should. The library asked if I would put up my photographs,
right?
Wow.
And you should put up yours too, because yours are educational as well. And except the library doesn't allow penguins, so we'll have to think of another.
Well, yeah. Maybe
because they chew on the books and
right. And I don't. Sometimes there's coffee shops, but I cannot stomach a coffee shop.
We'll find a place to do a joint show, but that's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. And you may have noticed. I don't know if you noticed.
I did.
Did you notice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This was a gift from the leprechaun colony that we visited. My outfit.
It's cute.
It looks good.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
I definitely wear that in March because you will not get pinched for not having green on, because
No,
that is a lot of green.
Well,
it is a lot of green.
You wear green. I mean, that's your color, but like I love the button down vest.
Yeah.
It's the tweed. It's a dark tweed, and then the coat, and then the skirt. It's all that green tweed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And these shoes. Look at these shoes.
I love the buckles.
Yeah, these are some great.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
You know why I think you're excited about those shoes?
Why?
Because you don't have the shoe job anymore.
Oh, I know.
It's the first time I've seen you excited about shoes in a long time.
I am so excited that I think if I saw a yo-yo, I would embrace and hug it. That's how excited I am to not have to deal with shoes anymore. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we want to remind everybody that coming up on February 12th, we have the big workshop cleanup where we all go into the workshop. Every elf has to pull their weight and clean up the workshop and get it all good, because then, as you know, in March, jobs start again.
Right.
So that is our one cleaning up. So you'll want to make sure that you're ready for February 12th, because that's a big day.
Don't forget your dust masks.
Dust masks, very important, because we're still finding bits of that toxic sludge everywhere, and we want everyone to be safe. And the forecast coming up, we have snow tomorrow, snow the next day, snow the day after that, and also, you guessed it, snow the day after that. So that is something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But my name is Gavin.
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Gary.
And you've been listening to Elf Centered. I want to hear some of this rock music.
Yeah, me too.
That the Penguins are into.
Well, it's...
Do they have a demo tape yet?
Oh, totally. Yeah, yes, they did it all on their tablets. They got a drum machine, a Moog.
This episode of Elf Centered was completely improvised by Jayne Entwistle, Chris Sheets, and Grant Baciocco. Elf Centered is a production of Saturday Morning Media and made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a monthly donation for as little as $1 a month. Huge thanks to Shay Stewart, Merle Lafferty, Jeff Peterson, Dale Gadania, Stephen Staver, Jackie Climo, Melissa Crawford, Dave Slusher of the Evil Genius Chronicles, Mike Coughlin, Dorothy Baciocco, John D., Kathy Crawford, Brian Greer, Carrie Whitney, Chuck Tomasi from the Technorama podcast, Chris Foster, Stephen Ing, Clinton of ComedyForecast.com, Vicky DeVries, Mike Wobschall, Twitter user Butts and Gear, a.k.a. Wildcat, Eve Cunning, Mike Hamilton, Gaston Moreno, Reed Loveland, Ivan Asquith, Vanessa Whitney, Peggy Etra, Kristen Hogan of Squid Friends, David Akers, Zoe Palladino, Ellen Multari, Christopher Harris, Rachel Jackson of Vox Fabuli Puppets, Carolyn Weisner, John Petty, Rachel Hansen, Darcy Prevost, Fernando Torres, Ron McAdams, Perlicue Magic, Jason Domer, Trent Hammond, Roman and Emmett, Cora Goodall, Lee Barrett, Casino Skunk, The Misty Minute, Peter Capesser, Night Gig Studios, Joelle Rechtfertig, and Adrian Rose Leonard. If you'd like to support this show and the other fun content from Saturday Morning Media, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up your donation today. You can also tell a friend about the show or leave the show a review on iTunes. And while you're over there in the iTunes Apple Podcast directory, be sure to click that subscribe button. That way you'll get new episodes the moment they are released. Thank you so much for tuning in. Elf Centered is copyright 2018 Saturday Morning Media, Grant Baciocco executive producer, all rights reserved. www.saturdaymorningmedia.com. You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.